Hey there everybody, it's Sensei Jeff. Just want to talk to you a little bit about our upcoming tournament and how that relates to our concept this month of sportsmanship. Now, as you probably have noticed in classes with kids, we've been talking about sportsmanship with all of our ranks, whether you are beginners, right, or our black belts. And this is something that we do not all the time. We do in-house tournaments pretty rarely now. We were going to be doing one in 2020, but something came up, so we didn't do any of them. And we haven't done one since, but this is our first one in a while, and we're looking forward to it. Now, when we talk about sportsmanship with kids, there's actually 4 major benefits that we'd like to talk about with them. First component is just learning to play fair. Kids have a nasty habit of bending the rules to their own benefit. This is also true for people who are not so much kids. But we want them to learn the importance of that, because when you learn to play fair, that's how you learn to win in the long run. You can cheat your way to the top, but you can't stay there without some real skill and without some real character. A second major benefit of competition in the tournament is just building up some confidence. Right now, when we have the kids compete in the tournament, we're pretty careful about trying to make things as fair as possible. Have them compete against people who are the similar rank, not identical, but similar, and then similar in size or age, depending on what event it is. But when they go into that competition, one of the things that we hope is that they get the chance to win, right? Now, that's one of the reasons we say compete in at least 3 events, is that odds of them having some level of success in one event is relatively low. The odds of them having some success in 3 is relatively high, right? So we want them to have the chance to win and have that sense of confidence that their abilities paid off. They played by the rules. We talked about that with the last concept. And after playing by the rules, they were able to learn to trust in their own abilities to practice, prepare, and then succeed, right? That's a huge benefit for kids and one of the major things we're looking for. On the flip side of that, we also kind of hope that they lose, right? That's, again, one of the reasons why we tell them to go to 3 different events, is because we want them to have that opportunity to experience adversity and then learn to grow from that. Right? So the odds of someone competing in 3 events and getting 3 first place trophies are very, very low at the tournament. It doesn't happen very often in the past, right? And if you're competing in 7 events, the odds of you winning all 7 events are extremely low. It's literally never happened, but maybe your kid will be the one. But again, we hope that they experience some hardship and they learn how to cope with that they show good sportsmanship, right? They don't let their emotions overwhelm them. They still can treat someone respectfully and go over and shake their hand, say good game at the end of the competition, right? So we want them to develop that resilience that can really only develop through some losses, and then having a support team around them where we've already pre-framed how to handle a loss, right? We already told them, like, hey, when this emotion hits, this is what we want to do. It's okay to be a little bit sad, but we don't want to, get too sad when we lose, and then follow through that with several steps that we've been discussing with them throughout the month. Finally, one of the major lessons we want them to learn is to respect other people and their emotions and their needs, right? So when we win in a competition or we lose in a competition, right, it's not only about us. I mean, we're obviously important, but so are the people around us. And learning to respect their feelings, right, and carry yourself with some consideration of others is one of those things that's incredibly important for developing long-term relationships that are effective. Right? And kids, unfortunately, a lot of their free play is not like it used to be, 30 years ago, right? If you were really mean to your friends, the transaction cost of trying to develop a new friendship and new play groups was very, very difficult, right? If you didn't play, street football well or whatever, it was hard to get a new team. But with so many things they do on screens nowadays, it's very easy to, well, if you didn't enjoy playing with me, I'm going to go find someone else to play with online, and it's pretty easy just to click and I'm done. So we want them to learn how to appreciate those relationships and appreciate other people's emotions and see their faces when they win and see their faces when they lose, and be kind of respectful of that, right? And again, it's really good for them in the long run when they learn to appreciate other people and their relationships. So those are the things that we have planned for the tournament. There's a lot that we're trying to accomplish. Registrations coming to a close pretty soon. In terms of open registration, you have until this Sunday to submit your forms and basically get into almost any event. And after that, if you're starting to register next week, the benefit is you'll know exactly when you're going to be competing, right? So, it's at 10:45. That's when my event is. Great, I can go to that one. The downside is sometimes you can't get into the events, right? Because we do have a cap to the number of people that we let into different divisions. And if your kid fits into a division that's full, then they can't compete in that event, unfortunately. So that's what's coming up for us. Looking forward to seeing you in class, and if you can make it to the tournament on Saturday the 27th, fantastic. If you can't, maybe you're traveling, have a great time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in class soon. Bye-bye.